All right, Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace and blessing to you Akims throughout the four winds, pushing this truth. As you can see, the video is entitled "Our Impurities Are Our Natural Bad Characteristics." Okay, because when you just sit and think about things that have to be corrected, they aren't things that you gain. Okay, they aren't things that you gain. You gain and learn how to eat pork, get edge ups. You know what I'm saying? It's things that are fashionable in this world. Those things through the spirit are the easy things to get rid of. Okay, that's why the scripture says, and my commandments are not grievous. When you have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai looming around you, you're not going to do these things. Okay, the things that really kills people are natural characteristics, the way that you were born, things you inherit through your genetics. Okay, those are the things that must be purged. Those are the things that people have problems with. Okay, those are the things that cause men to be kicked out of, you know what I'm saying, groups, if you will. Okay, our natural characteristics. Okay, some people characteristics, they don't understand that those are the things that have to be changed for the Lord to totally use you. You know, a lot of our characteristics are fleshly driven. Okay, all right, I'm going to some scriptures. It's Lamentations 4:1. It says, how has the gold become dross or dim? How is the most fine gold changed? Now this is speaking of us, the nation of Israel. Okay, the stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? Okay, so it was set up to be this way. All right. But it was formed and everything was put in this fashion. All right, the things we done and we did and most are still doing is wickedness. All right, it says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast, they give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel like the ostriches and the wilderness. Now we went through the men, now this is the woman. Okay, it always, when you get something about women in the scriptures, it always compares it to a bird. Hence the saying, yeah, that's my chick. Got songs called chicken heads. You know what I'm saying? All these things, man, they tie right into the scriptures. Okay, so now we see the men and we see the women. Okay, now let's go to 2 Ezra 5:8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. Women are over us now. Okay, and menstruous women shall bring forth children. So now what we have here is these bad characteristics started with the men. He put his offspring in this woman. She became very wicked. And now these women who, through this society, has herself put above the man, she's bringing forth wicked kids. Now we have wicked generations. Okay? Wicked generations sprang forth from all this. And it was all because untamable characteristics. Okay? Verse 4. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets. They that were brought up in scarlet embrace dunghills. That's being brought very low. Okay? You're once dressed in a highly manner, or looked upon as in a highly manner, set upon in a high fashion, but now you're like shit. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom. Okay? That was overthrown as in a moment, and no hands stayed on her. Okay? An out of control nation. That was us. Okay, I'm going to grab another one. This is Isaiah 1. Let's start at 21. It says, how is the faithful city becoming a harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. Okay? Thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water. So these things basically mean that something that was straight and narrow and on a righteous way became diluted. Okay? It means it was cut. It's not pure or raw, no, you know what I'm saying? It's not in a raw state no more. It's been cut. Okay? And that takes the potency from it. All right? Thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth gifts and followeth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them. Okay? Therefore saith Salakia, the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries, and avenge me of mine enemies. I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away the dross. Okay? Now, it's the Lord seeing these people, and he see that these people, his people, have became diluted and corrupted with the ways of all the other nations, and punishment came from that. Okay? But now he's saying, and purely purge away the dross. Okay? And take away all thy tin, and I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness. So now, all these things, these characteristics that had us fucked up, and a lot of us to this day are still in the same mind frame. People change because People don't change because they don't want to change the characteristics that was naturally put inside of them. That's why a lot of people don't last in this truth. They're not willing to give up those characteristics. Okay? A lot of time, those characteristics involve pride. You just think about if you're a certain age and the Lord brings a brother and he's over you and he's younger than you. That, being a man, naturally brings forth the characteristic of now your manhood is being tested. Okay? That's a characteristic that most men have. Okay? So you got to learn how to move yourself out of the way so that the Lord can come in, and this is how he's going to do it. Okay? This is why. Look in 26, it says, I will restore thy judges as at the first. So now we know for this nation to get back to where they were and get the dross and the dim out of them, it's going to be men raised up to do this. Now let's watch the process. This is Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. Now he's making them known. But thine eyes shall see thy teachers. Okay? So now these men that the Lord is going to use to get this dross and get all the water out of the wine, he's going to have men to do it. Okay? He says, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. So now we know that we went off. Now we know that we're going to be brought back. And now we know that it's going to be men that the Lord is going to use to get these bad characteristics out of us. Okay? Because your characteristics, that's your impurities. We're not being chastised because we're still eating pork. We're not being chastised because we're still getting lineups. Okay? We're not being chastised by the laws because we're keeping them to the best of our abilities. Okay? We know it's some laws we can't keep, but the laws we can keep, we keep them. So if we were perfect right now, why are we being in this situation that we're in? No, because now the things that have to be changed are the characteristics of your person. The spiritual awakening starts with the inside, the renewing of your mind. Okay? Now with your mind renewed, those characteristics physically have to be removed. Okay? And this is how. Okay, this is 1 Corinthians 4:9. It says, for I think that the Most High has set forth his apostles last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. So the Lord's going to bring these men back at the very end, the times we're in right now. That's why you have leaders, elders, heads of camps. Those men's jobs are to, when you feeding the flock, that's to get them awake. Now they must be guided to having their characteristics changed. That's the impurities. Okay? Because I'm going to just let the scriptures talk. I want to get ahead of myself. This is Jeremiah 3. And I'm going to start at 15. It says, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart. Okay? Which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. These men are going to show you the way, how to get the dross and get rid of those bad characteristics. Okay? And it shall come to pass when ye be multiplied and increased in the land, in those days, saith the Lord, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of the Lord, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done anymore. You're being guided to excellence. Okay? You're being guided to excellence. All right? Now, this is Zechariah 13:9. And I will bring the third part through the fire. Okay? I'm going to bring the third part through the fire. Now, these are the men that's going to be awake. Now they're going to teach, as we just previously read. They're going to teach men through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshai how to get that dross and become pure gold. Okay? Now I'm gonna be jumping back and forth. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire. Now this is the definition of fire. It says fire, flame, supernatural fire. Okay. It says, I'm trying to see, let me see, roasting, parching, altar fire, God's anger, figuratively speaking. Okay, so we know going through that fire, something is going to be burned. Okay, because it's comparing it to, just check this out. It says, and we'll refine them as silver is refined. Now let's go to refine. To smelt, refine, to test, to prove. Okay? To be refined, to be a refiner. Let's look down at the bottom one. It says goldsmith, refine, refiner, melt, pure, purge away. So the Lord is going to have men giving you instructions on how to purge away those bad characteristics, because you're a piece of gold. All right? It says, and we'll try them as gold is tried. Now, let's go to try. To examine, try, prove. Okay? To test, to prove. Persons, the heart, that's your mind. A man of the Most High. To be tried, to examine, to tempt. Now you're going through a trial. Okay? It says to examine, especially metals. Okay? So these men are basically going to bring the heat down on us. How is that going to be done? When you go to these men for counsel and guidance, they're going to tell you, you don't move that way, because you get this from moving that way. Those are the impurities that need to be moved out of you so you can become a true man of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. You're going to be a solid gold nugget then. A lot of men don't stand these tests. When that pressure comes to get those impurities out, they run, because they love those characteristics. And those characteristics are impurities that the Lord wants to remove from us. All right? It says, they shall call on my name and I will hear them. Now, when you don't have that pride, and when you don't have that dross in you no more, you can call on the Lord and he's going to answer you, because he knows how you think. He knows if you're keeping those bad characteristics around. Then he's going to purge you out. Okay, he tried to purge it out of you. Now he's going to purge you out because you wanted to hold on to your characteristics. Okay? It says, and I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is my power. Okay? So we're going to go to gold. Gold is a precious metal. And that's what we are. A precious metal of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And we're gold. So for him to get those characteristics that don't belong to us, they don't belong to us. For him to get those out, he's going to bring us through fire, trials. Okay? Are you going to totally trust on the Lord when you're going through something? Are you going to face these and pray? Or are you going to just pout about it all the time? That's dross. When you read the scriptures all the way to the back, men like King David, like Judas Maccabees, I'm talking about they truly sold out. Their faith was unshaken. Okay? They had no impurities in them. Everything was, if we have to be put to death, so be it. We're going to stand with Yahweh Shem Yahushua regardless. Okay? And that's the thing. That's where we're at now. We're getting these impurities snatched from us. And the Lord sees when they're snatched from you. Now he can say this right here. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, because now we have 144,000 non-characteristics having person. Bad characteristics. Okay? They've been taken away. All the bad characteristics. Now you're a solid piece of gold because you've been tried on each side. Okay? And it's like this. The scripture where it tells you that a demon leaves the house and he comes back and sees it swept and garnished. And if you aren't right, he's going to bring back 7 friends. Okay? That's those characteristics. You're going to be tested to see if they're really gone. Or were you just bluffing? Okay? It says, O daughter of Zion, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Now, tables have been turned when that elect number has been sealed. All right? But the key to everything is you can know you're an Israelite. You can keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But your character, those impurities inside of you that you call your character, they have to be smoltered out. And that's only going to happen when the Lord turns the heat up. When he turns the heat up. Then that's the only way you're going to become a pure, golden, solid piece of gold. Everybody can say they're Israelites. That's step one. You have faith. Okay, I'm an Israelite now. That's step one. That's when it's sweet on your tongue, but when you swallow it, now you got to get rid of these characteristics and things you've been holding on to your whole entire life. Now that's a different ball game. Okay. Hope this is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Double honor to the apostle Nels Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing this truth throughout the 4 winds. Shalom.